What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about MicroStrategy at the request of Stanley Wong. Stanley, we're doing this for you. I know it's been a little bit over a week. I think that you requested this, at least around a week. You have kind of an in-depth request. You wrote a big comment. I think what you want me to do is not just compare MicroStrategy, do TA on MicroStrategy, but MicroStrategy versus Bitcoin. And you asked me a question at the end there saying, what will the impact of the upcoming 2 billion shares sales be? I'm not aware of that. I don't know. Is MicroStrategy selling 2 billion shares? Is that the case? I don't. Or is it Bitcoin that's selling Bitcoin doesn't have 2 billion shares. This thing's market cap is 26.5. I don't think they have 2 billion shares. I don't. It says upcoming to be shares sales. Upcoming to be. Maybe you're just saying upcoming to be shares sales. Maybe they're having shares sales. I have no idea, man. But there's definitely not 2 billion. So maybe I'm reading that wrong. Maybe I'm just not understanding it wrong. So I'm going to move on from there. But if being that it's been over a week probably since you requested this, if those sales have happened, obviously it didn't impact things too much, right? Maybe it happened back here. Maybe it's soon to happen. I don't know. But I guess I don't understand fully what you mean, because you say, by the way, what will be the impact of the upcoming to be shares sales? And you say two, the number two, and then the letter B together. So I'm thinking 2 billion in my head. There's definitely not 2 billion shares here, right? Like if it was $150 and there were 2 billion shares, it would have a lot more higher of a market cap than $26.5 billion. So anyways, guys, let's move on. Hit that like button one last time, subscribe, and let's get going here. So we're just going to do some standard analysis. Looking at the weekly RSI, I'm a fan of it. I like that you're holding the 50 area. You do have lower lows in your RSI while maintaining higher lows in the price. Yes, this low is lower, but this is the opening low. This is the opening price, right, where the RSI bases it off of the closing price. So whenever you're looking at this lower low in the RSI, it's actually tied off of this closing low here and then this closing high, or this closing area here, right? So it is a higher low and it's a lower low that is hidden bullish divergence. You're consolidating. You're absolutely consolidating. I think MicroStrategy, I think I had it right whenever I said it the last time. Whatever it was that I said was that it's in a horizontal channel, more or less, right? And maybe it's like that, maybe it's a little bit more like this, and it's disrespected, but it's whatever you want to call it. It's in some kind of consolidation phase. I absolutely do believe that it's going to move up higher. I have no doubts at all. By the end of this year, I would expect that you're going to see prices around 245 to 340. That's my genuine expectation. This is a very bullish month, man. Consolidating like this from your relative high to low, consolidating above your 886 zone like this, finding support on it time and time again, and just really residing above your 100 level. I don't think you're going to stop at 245. Like, the more that I think about this, I don't think you've been consolidating for this long to stop at 245. No, I'm pretty damn confident you're going to see this 340 area, if not 542. Like, MicroStrategy, you guys, is about to rip. It's really about to do some phenomenal things. I'm expecting this zone. That doesn't mean you can't find resistance here. You could find resistance at 245, right? Perhaps you do. You come back down, find support at a previous area of resistance here, and then move up, something like that. But nonetheless, I think that this thing isn't stopping until it sees prices deep into the 300s, if not even $200 past that, in like 540 or something like that. Very bullish monthly RSI, very bullish weekly RSI, kind of neutral to be fair, but overall bullish, and just looks like it's wound up and ready to go. Volume's died off. Whenever volume dies off and you're in a consolidation range like this, that just means you're getting to the end of it, where you'll break out one way or another. Hopefully it's this way and not this way. I don't think it will be that way. Let's look at the daily, and then we'll compare it to Bitcoin, okay? Daily RSI looks good too. Neutral overall, but the fact that you are getting overbought and you refuse to be oversold tells me that, yes, while it's neutral, you're going back and forth. Tells me that you're definitely postured and prepared to go higher is what I'm thinking, right? Moved up 12% today. Nice. It liked Bitcoin's rally. It liked crypto's rally today. Let's see. MSTR versus Bitcoin. We'll do it on the index, sure. And then MicroStrategy there, boom, enter. So this chart is MicroStrategy versus Bitcoin, right? And of course, over time, Looks like Bitcoin has gained a lot more value than MicroStrategy has. But dude, oh wow. It's kind of a cool chart actually. Dumped a lot obviously, but if you look at it for what it is, like where we're at in this chart's history, it's rounding out here, right? Like this, it's a dumpster fire. Absolutely it is. Whole existence, except for from 2018 and on, right? Relatively neutral. And that makes sense. They're probably very correlated with each other. But I think MicroStrategy is about to rip, man. That is a very strong looking monthly RSI, looking like you want to reach for that overbought zone. I have a feeling you're going to see readings above this. You were saying it was at a coefficient of 400. Maybe you were doing Bitcoin versus MicroStrategy, not MicroStrategy versus Bitcoin, right? Because in that, if it was like 400 and something, unless I'm doing it wrong, doing the math in my head, but if it was 400 and something, it would be 400 and something Bitcoins. No, MicroStrategies per Bitcoin, right? Right? Yes. Yes, that's what that would be. Where this is how many Bitcoins per MicroStrategy, if that makes sense, right? Right. So this is how many Bitcoins you get per share of MicroStrategy. That's what that number is. But tomato, it's just a difference of how you divide it, I guess. But nonetheless, the chart would be the same. The numbers are just different, right? Like, or maybe it wouldn't be the same. It would be the inverse technically, actually. But tomato. I think this chart will be fine. I think this will give us the answers that we're looking for. A lot of volume here. Definitely a lot of volume here. If we're looking at the relative high to low here, what I was getting at was I do expect that you're going to go up higher. Look at that too, man. From a high point to a low point, this is the first interaction you have with the 618. Yes, you interacted with it back here, but that was before this low, so you didn't have the fib range established yet. Since you've had this low in, this is your first interaction. You ripped through it. You broke below it, ripped back up above it. I think, and I'm pretty confident that you are likely going to see 0.007 to 1.35% of a Bitcoin by the end of this rally for MicroStrategy. I genuinely do think that over the coming months, over the coming year, you could see a 200% gain versus Bitcoin to potentially a 470% gain versus Bitcoin if you're holding MicroStrategy. That's what this chart's telling me. That's what I'm getting out of this right now. I really like the monthly RSI. The weekly RSI, dude, it's so bullish. That is a strong weekly RSI. It's better looking than the regular MSTR chart in my opinion, but very similar, very similar. Daily RSI also looks strong. Not getting as overbought, but not getting closer to that oversold zone, holding that 40 area. I like it. I'm fairly confident you are very near the end of this consolidation range, and it's very similar to just the regular MSTR chart, man. You're about to break out of it. Probably going to move up to 0.0032 of a Bitcoin to 0.0038 of a Bitcoin or higher, and probably that or higher metric. I mean, maybe you find turbulence in this area, but inevitably, right, higher is what I'm expecting. So I think it looks good. I know you were worried about July a little bit, right? July, you said that it went down versus Bitcoin, but actually for the month of July, it was up overall, 9.46%. This month it's been down, right, a little bit, but still, since the opening of July, it's actually still up with a hell of a recovery. So I think that you're in good shape, man. I think that the coming months to end the year and going into next year, really to end this cycle, I think you're about to see the fireworks fly, right? Like, this has been nice so far. You're about to get some stronger moves. You haven't even gotten really too far above your 60. When you start maintaining above this 60 more, whenever you start residing here and getting toward that overbought zone, you're going to see stronger moves than what you've seen so far, right? Like, you've seen a 44% growth versus Bitcoin in 1 month. I would bet that you either have a stronger 1 month period or you have a stronger move overall compared to this, right? It might take longer than 2 months, but nonetheless, like a stronger move overall. All that to say, I think that the strength of this to the upside has yet to come in. Like, I don't think you've seen the finale yet, but it's coming. So all that to say, MicroStrategy looks good. MicroStrategy versus Bitcoin, I think, looks good. The genuine targets that I have in mind for MSTR would be anywhere from 245 to 542 by the end of the year, with a heavier emphasis on this 340 to 542 area. And yes, I really do mean that. I genuinely believe that you're going to see these numbers by the end of the year. and time will tell. We'll see how it goes. But by the end of the cycle, we'll see where you're at. Last cycle, MicroStrategy topped off in February 2021, right? And that's probably because they used their shares they sold off to buy Bitcoin, right? It did hang out and consolidate until November when Bitcoin topped off, and then it dropped, but it topped off well before Bitcoin. So this could be this could be the end phase of this cycle for MicroStrategy. It could be by the end of this year, sometime in the first quarter of next year, that we see the all-time high, or the cycle high. Is it the all-time high? Yes, it would be the all-time high for MicroStrategy. It could be, right, very, very soon. But, and I'm actually wondering, let's see, February to November, that's 2 versus 11, that's 9, right? 9 months. It really could be by the end of this year. If not, like, literally somewhere between the window of like November to February, November of this year to February could be when MicroStrategy tops off. But in that window of time, man, that's this next move up, I would bet, is its last move up. It could go higher. It's possible. What would the market cap be? What would the market cap be? I was so ready to end this video, but let's just do this real quick. 123%. That's nice. 123. You guys know I like that 123. Market cap 26.5 billion. So what? That's 52, 53 plus 23% of that is 2.6, 5.2. So 53. So 50. About 59. About 60 billion. About 60 billion. Yeah, not really a psychological level, but kind of. 265 would be a, let's just do a 3x real quick on 26, would be, so 53, it's 26.5, right, because that's what we got here. 3x on that, so 53 plus 26.5 would be 79.5, let's just call it 80 billion. 80 billion plus, so it wouldn't even be quite 100. I guess I could see MicroStrategy even going beyond this 1618 just a little bit. It has a chance to. I don't know if it's, I don't think it'll break $600, but just above that 1618, I think it has a chance to, or around $600. Maybe it does go a little bit above it. It's hard, but you get near that $100 billion market cap with that. And that's a very strong psychological level. So, and then pairing that with the psychological level of $600 itself and the 1618. But certainly at a minimum, I know I'm talking about the higher numbers here. Certainly at a minimum, I think that you will see 340. I don't think you've consolidated this long just to move up to 245. I think you will see 340 or higher. But likely this zone, somewhere in this zone, will be where you top off. And if I'm wrong and you go up here, that'll still be where you top off, and it won't be too much more exciting after that, right? And it'd probably be best to get out of this and put it into some cryptos anyways. I think that's what Michael Saylor did, what the company did last time, and I think that's probably what they're going to do again, because it makes sense. If you can invest in cryptos and then just take it out, as long as you're making that public knowledge, and then just like double down on, you're making money on your stock, then you sell your stock for the crypto that's at the end of its rally, right? That's going to do the most like bullish stuff. I mean, it's a very smart move to make, I think. But enough talk, guys. I'm done. Hit that like button. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.